Exciting. Hey, Silk Talk Podcast. What episode is this now?
Oh man, Silk Talk Podcast, episode 4.
Episode 4.
4 episodes.
Wow.
It's been a long time coming. Man, I don't know what to say.
You think I could start it off a little bit?
Ooh, hold on. Divinity wants to start it off? All right, let's do that.
Hello, my name is Divinity. I'm a yogi. I'm an aspired herbalist. I own a company called Healing with Divinity, healingwithdivinity.com. I do a lot of things. Sound healer, yogi. Yeah. And this is another co-host, Anu.
Hello, y'all. I am Anu the Deity, your Silk Talk Podcast host. Let's see. I am a recording artist of about 5 years. I founded my own indie record label, BKOSEASON LLC. The best label in the motherfucking world. And I'm living life. I'm actualizing my dreams, actualizing my realities one day at a time. And, you know, I'm really having a good time doing it. And I'm teaching others to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very beautiful journey. Today, we don't have a special guest. We are your special guests. Us. It's the 4th episode, man. I want to appreciate everyone who's been tuning in for the journey, man. Each time is better than the last. I see everyone in the live right now. Damn Shaw TV. What up, Damn Shaw TV? Shout out Nino. You know what I'm saying? Beanie, see you. Shout out Beanie. Catherine Rand said, yay, my first time catching the live.
Hey,
appreciate you. Welcome to the family. If you're watching this, please share the live and tell your friends, tell your cousin, your auntie, your uncle. Share it with someone. If everyone watching could share at least one person, that'll help us go a long way.
I like to start off with a nice breath. I'm currently going to yoga school, yin yoga. And I want to start off with, let's close our eyes. I feel like I need this too.
Okay.
You're going to take a deep inhale through your nose. Hold it to the top. Exhale out the mouth. And just let it out. I feel like I really needed that. I also want to start it off with a little sound healing.
Ooh.
I have a tuning fork.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the tuning? What is that exactly?
A tuning fork is a type of frequency that you can put on your body. This frequency is tuned to 528 hertz, which is the same frequency as love.
Okay, love frequency.
So it's like giving you love frequency, as I put it, over someone or through you guys through the live. So I'm going to bang it first.
If y'all got headphones.
And I'm going to put it over. And you can close your eyes as I put this around the mic so you can hear it deeper. Yeah. Just want to spread that love and that frequency today on this podcast. I'm actually a little nervous. Like, it's never just been me and Anu. He's been so excited. I'm like, why are you so excited? And I'm like, But yeah.
Why are you nervous?
You know, just like talking live, just us. Like, usually we have a guest that adds like a little less pressure.
Take a little distraction off of us, like a little attention off of us.
But now it's like, like, Udi looking at you. So it's a little bit more pressure.
It's y'all too. What y'all gotta say? You got no host this time. What we gotta say?
So it's just like straight us. So also, I hope you guys enjoyed that frequency. May you have that love in and surrounding you always. This is called a tuning fork. If you want to buy one, I got it on Amazon. 528 hertz.
What made you decide to get the tuning fork? Like, what made you want to purchase it?
I feel like before I moved to LA, we're from Massachusetts. Shout out 508.
Shout out to 508.
We moved to LA about 3.5 years ago. Anu was like, hey, I just want to move to LA. I feel like I need to go on this journey. Like, not like I'm going to go regardless of how you feel. I was like, yeah, like, let me think about it. I want to make sure I do it for me. So I thought about it and I was like, fuck, let's go to LA. So I just moved and no fucking regrets. It's been a beautiful journey. No regrets at all.
Let's build on that. You said something interesting there. You said that I presented the idea to move to LA, but you wanted to make sure it was something that you're doing for you.
Hell
so
yeah.
what was that process?
Like, why did I think that way, or what was the process of me thinking that way?
What was the process of you thinking that way, and why? And then why after?
I just feel like, especially in a relationship, I think it's very important to make sure you're doing something for yourself, because you can really get stuck in wanting to be a people pleaser and making sure your partner's happy and like being there for them. But you have to remember that you're your own individual. Like, you have to make sure you're doing things for yourself as well. I feel like that's a really key to like happiness and overall, even in a relationship or not. So I just need to make sure that it was going to be something that I wanted to do as well. So I just like sat down, I thought about it. My profession I do outside of like a whole bunch of things I do is like, I'm a nurse. So I was like, I have my nursing license. I can go anywhere. I just like live at home and have a car. What can I lose? What can I really lose? I'm just like in this town that's like 90,000 people, and like it's a really small not known town. So I'm like, why not? Can I ask you why did you want to move to LA?
Man,
With my cup?
We're not sharing the cup?
We can have some of my cup, yeah, sure.
Damn. Well, so what was the question? Why did I want to move to LA?
Yeah, why did you I want to move to LA?
I don't know. I feel like I always wanted to move to LA before I even had a reason to move to LA.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like it was like a past life generational type thing. Maybe I was like here before and like I didn't finish what I had to do. So I had to come back to LA.
You were here before in your past life?
Yeah, it feels like ancestral, especially like all the people. We
talk about our past life regressions.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Yeah, me and Anu both had past life regressions. I've had 2, and Anu's had a really deep one. We can talk about that. We'll let that go.
We'll build into that. We'll build into that.
Maybe we should just stick on like a topic or something. Yeah. And kind of just like a free for all one. Mm-hmm. It's like just getting to know like your host a little bit more.
So yeah, I definitely feel like it was like ancestral. Like I always wanted to come out here. And then when I started doing music, it just made even more sense. Like music is the thing that gave me like a solid reason to move out here. Because before I just wanted to, I didn't really know why, but music gave me a reason. It's like, okay, like if I really take this music shit seriously, I gotta go where the action's at. I actually had a cool conversation with Ski Master Some God. I caught him backstage at a show of his in New York. I snuck backstage. It was lit. Take that chance. Snuck backstage, got to meet him. I got on stage while he was performing. It was crazy. He had a crazy good performance, like very inspirational. After the performance, I caught him backstage. I told him like, yo, listen, I'm an aspiring artist. What's some like game and some advice you can give me? And I feel like to all the artists out there watching this, it's important to just like show humility. You know what I'm saying? Like never feel like you're too cool. Like I never felt like I was too cool to be like, you know, ask for someone's honest opinion and like some tips and advice on something. But I feel like a lot of people feel like they're too cool to do these things. So I just went there like, you know what I'm saying, like genuine. I was like, yo, like I'm an artist. Like, is there any advice you have for me or any tips or anything like that to take my music career to the next level? And he was like, yeah, you got to move where the action's at. Like LA. And I was like LA? He's like LA. And I know we were originally thinking New York, but then like we had a situation that wasn't really working out, and like the crib we had planned for us, just like the universe was just like nah.
And it's like more expensive, I feel like, New York than LA. What do you think? Like if you get like where your living space per square feet. Like,
yeah.
Like it would be a shoebox.
I see some motherfuckers living in a shoebox. So
we be paying LA, we get a shoebox in New York.
Yeah, nah, type shit.
The weather, I feel like the weather really sold me too.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, that was like the main like confirmation for me. And then I was just like, all right, we gotta go. And we took our first trip to LA. That was like our first vacation we ever took together was to LA.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? You want to talk about that?
I feel like thinking back about it, I was like young and I just did everything through Expedia because I was like, you booked the flight, you booked the hotel,
pre-B&B. Like we didn't even do.
And we stood in Long Beach and we took an Uber every day to like LA from Long Beach. It cost us like $60 to $70 a day.
That shit was so expensive
for like 7 days. It was so expensive, but I was excited to go like to travel. I feel like learning more about myself, I like need to travel to expand. I feel like every person needs to travel to expand, but I need to travel to expand like a lot, and I feel like it was the next part of my journey I needed to do. Yeah, most stuff.
How do you feel like traveling like helped you grow as a person, helped you expand?
When you're able to see something that's outside of your normal routine, you're able to expand that way. Like when you see something that you're not normally doing all the time and you're in a new environment and you're open and receptive, you're able to change that way. I feel like that really helps you grow. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I guess, like, how else do you know what else is out there if you never expose yourself to something different than what you're used to?
Most stuff.
And I feel like, especially us as human beings, like, we can get so used to just being in, like, getting comfortable. Like, us as human beings, man, we love to be comfortable. We don't like different things that, like, challenge our habits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's important to have those challenges because it's like that shit really helps you grow and expand. Even thinking back to, like, people in my hometown, you know what I'm saying, 508, I feel like a lot of them don't travel and never leave, bro. And they just get stuck in the same lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I mean, there's plenty of hometowns like this, but, like, I feel like we all, like, for all the people who out there who have, like, ever left a hometown and, like, moved somewhere new.
Leave your hometown.
Sometimes
Leave
you go
your
back.
hometown. Don't, like, everyone's on their own journey and own path. This is my perspective and how I think. I want to put that out there first. But to expand, you need to leave. Like, get out the comfort and expand your wings and grow. Like, go out there. Don't be afraid. Like, things that are meant to happen to you will happen to you. You just have to trust the process. And it's a beautiful process. You don't know. We have thoughts that we think we reincarnate into this life or we go to heaven. There's so many different thoughts and ideologies of what happens when we die. But in actuality, do we truly know what happens when we die? Like, in fact, has anyone ever came back and said, this is what happens? Like, we don't really know. So why not live your life the best way you can? Facts.
What do you feel when you hear those stories? Because you said, like, we don't really know, but how do you feel about stories of, like, have you ever heard stories about, like, people who've, like, been brain dead for, like, a little bit and they come back and they talk about it?
I usually believe that, like,
yeah,
definitely. But a lot of theories that are out there are very similar. Like, you see a light, and, like, some people believe you see, like, your ancestors or, like, an animal from the other side of the light, you know?
Yeah.
And I believe that, but, like, do you truly know, though? Like, I'm pretty sure we can meditate to a point where we can see something, but you don't really, like, actually
meditate to a point where we see something.
Yeah, we meditate to a point where we could, like
meditate for a certain point, like, length of time.
Yeah, I think that we can remove our I don't want to say consciousness because that's not the word, but, like, we can be out of body and see other realms. Most definitely.
Really? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I feel like I have.
You feel like you've done that?
I'll tell you a situation. It was before I moved out here, and it kind of scared me, and I wasn't really able to do it for a while after that because I freaked myself out. But I was meditating. I think I was very emotional at the time, and I just needed to, like, meditate to relax. And, like, when I would get deep into my meditation, I would start to spin, like, in my mind. I would feel my body spin in circles. I call it, like, REM sleeping. You know how you REM sleep, your eyes go back and forth? That would happen to me, like, when I was meditating. And, like, I was able to see images, but it would be black and white and, like, spots. And I remember this one time I meditated in a good amount of time that I seen an image or a spot of a head, and the head turned around and looked at me and walked towards me. And, like, I opened my eyes and I was like, yeah, I just seen some shit. And I got really scared. And, like, since then I wasn't able. I still, like, see images when I get deeper into meditation, but I haven't, like, seen that.
So what do you feel like those things are?
I feel like I was able to tap into another dimension and, like, see something. Most definitely.
What do you think is out there in these other dimensions? Like, if you could explain it to
me, I feel like I'm being interviewed.
I don't mean to interview you. You're just
okay.
saying very interesting things that I know a lot of people out there listening may have never ever heard of.
That's true.
And, like, I'm also curious myself. So, like if someone's first time ever hearing, like, yeah, I was in another dimension, because, like, to us it's so normal.
I know,
because, like, we've been on this journey and path for a long time, but there's a lot of people who've never.
Like, I need to ascend in that point because, like, I believe everybody that comes across to you
like it's
is a reflection. So, like, majority of everyone that I come across to is on the time things I speak about. Like, I don't really meet people that are not on the same time as much. like now in my life. I feel like I always meet someone that's like super woke or like knows things. So like that's something that I still need to work on. That like not everyone knows what the fuck is going on. People think that shit's crazy, and like I still need to have that awareness to understand that. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Some people really don't know what the fuck that is.
That's a fact. Let's see, our comment section's blowing up. If you're watching, I just want to say I appreciate you.
God,
I love you.
Jaina.
If you're listening, once I figure out how to get this on streaming services, I appreciate you. I love you. We're sending you guys so much love through the screen right now. Let's see. Jaina said, "Mom and Dad, stop playing, shawty. Don't play with me, God." I love Jaina, bro. I love the fuck out of Jaina. Shout out Jaina. They said, "Wow, true."
And
as
it's true.
I'm
like,
at my hometown right now. Oh, full circle moment, shawty.
Every time I go back home, it's like a circle moment.
Jaina also said, "Everything's exactly the same, and it's like I live in a different reality."
Facts.
Yeah, it's like you're back in that base and initial environment, but you're a completely different person. I feel that 100%. Black Entrepreneur 24 said, "That's a fact. I agree. Appreciate you." Catherine Rand said, "Do you guys have any tips on meditating? I feel so vulnerable, and when I'm scared for negative energy to attach to me." Ooh,
You're stronger than the energy. My friend Tori, shout out Tori. She's amazing. Pop Vulture 777 on Instagram. She told me that energy you feel is not in this reality. It's outside of this reality, so it can't bother you or affect you. And I truly believe you cannot let things affect you unless you let it. Like curses, people can curse you, but if you don't believe that you're cursed, you're not truly cursed. So like, I would get rid of that fear of something being attached to you, because I believe this, and it's a lot of theories, that when your body does leave you, when your spirit leaves you when you sleep or when you meditate, say if you want your spirit to leave and like you see other things, you're still attached to a cord and like attached to your physical body. I don't think something else can come into it, but we are very strong in our mind and as people. So if you believe something will be attached to you, it could be. So like, understand that you are very strong, and whatever is outside or not in this physical reality cannot harm you, because it's not in this reality. You are. Ooh. I hope that makes sense.
Damn, that was deep. And thanks for coming to Divinity's TED Talk.
But there's different types of ways to meditate. I have a hard time staying still when I meditate, so I like to sew. I like make pillows, and I put my energy into... You
sew while you meditate?
I use sewing as a type of meditation.
Oh.
Or like I'm not thinking about anything else, but the meditation is, you can clear your mind or you can get messages. It depends on your intention when it comes to meditating. I like to meditate to clear mind because I think all the time, and like I think a lot, so sometimes it like makes me feel a lot of anxiety. So I like to sew to meditate, which is like I'm just focusing on that task and I'm not thinking of anything else. I can think of that as a type of way to meditate. You can also like sit down and do the masculine version of meditating, where you sit still and like clear your mind and not try to think of anything. Or you can meditate to like sit down, clear your mind, and study your recurring thoughts to try to change it. There's so many different types of meditations.
So there's masculine and feminine ways to meditate? Because you just said there's a masculine. So we can
go further into that. The masculine, I wish I can have more knowledge to make this in a better way. Sound in a better way, but I would believe like staying still and staying disciplined into one posture is a type of masculine energy. Staying still, being disciplined is like masculine, where feminine is like more free flowing. So I would say like sewing or like doing something active as a type of meditation would be a feminine type of meditation. Where like I think of a masculine meditation as sitting down, disciplined in a stature and structure. Because what is masculine energy? Structured, disciplined, statured. So that's how I would describe it.
Okay, dope. Hope that helps, Catherine. Beanie said, "Y'all rock, y'all the best. Anu, you're a super dope rapper." Thank you, Beanie. Beanie said, "Divinity, you are a true entrepreneur, handpan player, makeup artist, and percussionist."
Thank you. I appreciate you. You give a lot of support, and I just appreciate your energy. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, shout out Beanie. I see Beanie a lot on Instagram, always engaging, always sharing content. So we appreciate you, Beanie. We be talking about the how could I say, the pure energy you give out. You give out really just pure positive energy, and we appreciate you.
Beautiful.
Catherine said, okay, I get that. Thank you. No problem.
Wow, you're welcome. I'm happy that you get
Hope
that.
that
Sometimes
helps.
I think like, does that make sense? Because like it makes sense to me, but I'm a Scorpio, so we're very misunderstood as beings. So I'm like always thinking like, was that understood? So thank you. It's received that you understood that. Thank you.
Let's get it. If you're watching the live right now, please share the podcast. Please share it. Make sure you like, comment. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe and share the two. Like, if you really rock with us, you could share this and you could subscribe. Make sure you check out healingwithdivinity.com.
Thank you.
A lot of great things on there. Make sure you check out BKOSEASON.com.
Show your socks.
A lot of drip on now. We got the socks out right now.
How far out can you lift your leg? I want to see how far you can
I mean,
go. Is that how far you can go?
Like high?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sitting. I have to
You can
stand.
still do it when you say. I don't want to do it because I don't want to flash the camera. I just want to see how high your leg can go.
It goes up there. Because I be training Muay Thai, y'all. I train Muay Thai, so like we do a lot of like kicks, high kicks and stuff. So I can get my leg up there. I think one time like I threw a kick in the air and then Tori was Tori seen a video of me training Muay Thai. She was like, "Yo, you can get your leg up there." I said, "You think so?" You think so? I'm crying. So we can go on one tangent, or did you want to get to the questions?
Yeah, we can get to questions.
Okay.
That's why I was on my phone earlier.
I feel like we can go forever. Oh, also, I did want to note, so some feedback I got on the podcast is me grabbing my phone. I want to make it clear when I grab my phone, it's merely because I'm sharing the live to all my friends and all my people. I like to share before the live starts, during the live, and after the live. So if you see me grab my phone, I'm still paying attention, but I'm just sharing, trying to get more views and more people to watch.
I'm trying to look for questions right now that I wrote down.
I got some questions. Let's see.
Give me 1 second.
We got some more
All
comments.
right. I have a question for you. Ready?
Oh, let's get it.
What would you say is one of your biggest accomplishments so far?
That's a good
I want
question.
to speak about this for you. You are an extremely hard worker. I want to give you your props.
Thank you.
I feel like you do so many things, like, and everything. You do everything that everyone could, like, okay, let me explain this better.
Take your time, Shani. Take your time.
I feel like seeing you grow as an artist, you have to, like, you make your own cover art, you make your own music, you make it, like, you do every single aspect of the whole business. And, like, I feel like that's insane and wild in a great way. Like, I feel like you'd be very successful in your life. So now that you do all these things, like, what is your biggest accomplishment you feel thus far from that?
My biggest accomplishment. I don't know if I could put it on one thing.
Narrow it down.
I don't know if I could put it on one thing, but what I can say is when I have moments of pure blissfulness, I feel like those mean the most to me. You know what I'm saying? Like every moment, every time I've been on the podcast is like a moment of pure blissfulness where I'm reminded, like, damn, I'm doing my thing. Or like when I perform and it's like lit, like the Penthouse performance we had, like I watch the footage of that like every day. This is a guy that was there. He got this dope ass clip of it from like a fire ass angle. That last song me and Jay did.
Yeah,
I be watching that shit. I be showing people that shit. I'm like, yo, I just did a Penthouse performance. Moments like that are like pure blissfulness, but I don't know if I could just put it down to one thing because everything that happens to me in LA all feels like the thing. It all is like every day's a new highlight. Every new show is a new highlight, and it's just like things are just always getting better and better and better than the last. LA as a whole is just like amazing.
But to be an artist and to like make your own cover art, write your own songs, pick your own beats, do your own marketing, do your own placements, like make vlogs, make music videos, edit your music videos, edit your vlogs, like put it out there. Like I feel like you do so many multifaceted things that come down to business, and like also being an artist, you have to look down and see like, wow, this is an accomplishment I'm proud of, or this is something. You don't have one.
What? If I had to put on one thing, it would be moving to LA. Because it's because we moved to LA that we have all these amazing blessings and all these amazing like experiences that give me those moments of blissfulness was all due to like having the faith and confidence to move to LA. Because a lot of people move to LA and like, you know, some people can't stick it. Some people don't stay here long. Some people go home earlier than they want, you know. So like for us to be able to be out here and like live the type of life that we live, you know, it's definitely something that's like, you're just super appreciative of it, you know? You can't do anything but appreciate it. What about you? What's your big, like,
my biggest
hurrah?
accomplishment so far?
Yeah.
Healing with Divinity.
HealingWithDivinity.com.
So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yoga too, like, but it's progressive with it. Like, I never thought I could raise my leg up and staying still in one position and balance like all at once. And I'm just always impressed by like my progress when it comes to it, because I was never an athletic child, even though I wanted to be. My mom's watching this, I'm sorry, but she never let me do sports, and I was so athletic. And like, I didn't start being athletic until like I was like my 20s. So like, not even like, yeah, my like early 20s. So I'm always like so impressed. I'm like, oh, I love that. Like, I can do this posture deeper now.
Do you feel you're athletic now?
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, just like I have a really
So what's that side of your life look like?
Stature that like I'm proud of.
Do you work out? Like, what's that side of you? What's your athletic side like?
Yeah, I work out like 4 times a week.
Like, you lift weights?
Well, I do hot yoga.
Ooh, okay.
I love that you're asking me these questions. You're so funny.
Yeah.
Because like he knows, but he just wants me to like say it in a less general way.
But I'm sincerely asking though. So like,
yeah. Maybe 4 times a week. Hot yoga is like yoga in a room that's about 110 degrees, and you like do these postures or sequence of postures for an hour long in the room that's really hot with like 30 other people. And it's challenging because when you're in heat like that, you think like I can't breathe, but you can really breathe through it and you're fine. You just have to like get past the limitations of your mind when it comes to it, because when we're in pain or distress, our mind just wants to think like I need to get out of here, or fight or flight. But if you're able to sit down and use your breath or pranayama and sit and breathe and understand that I'm safe and I'm okay, you can really get through a lot of accomplishments from that and like push yourself as far as you can. It's so beautiful. Another thing, shout out Jaina, Shabari literally taught me that too, like being upside down and being in positions that are uncomfortable, but if you allow your body to relax, it's so beautiful and it feels so blissful. Look up Shabari and follow Jaina on Instagram. Switchy Witch. I have to look up your full IG, but it's really beautiful, for real. Getting into pushing your mind beyond the limits of self-doubt.
You think you'd ever see yourself like doing yoga living in LA?
No, definitely not. I would have never thought. And that's what's so beautiful. No expectations of life. And you're just like, wow. But besides that, I feel like Healing with Divinity was a big accomplishment for me because I was able to take creative energy from a space in my mind, make it a reality, and make profit from it. And I was like, fuck. It's like a big ass manifestation. It's like, wow, like I'm able to take an idea from my mind, physically manifest it with my hands into a reality, and people actually like it and want to buy it from me. Yeah, how amazing.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like, and people want to buy it and put money towards it. Like,
yeah, an idea that I had in my head.
That's the power of manifestation.
My most funnest manifestation was my cat Gypsy, who like I feel like I look like she's like a little.
Tell
blonde.
The story.
She's a little blonde girl. This is not the blonde piece. She's like blonde and like black, and I didn't realize that like I'm like I guess I'm like looking like her now. Like, don't you feel like I look like her a little bit with like my hair? Because she's tortoiseshell. I'm obsessed with my cat, as you can tell.
I guess I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So, I was going through like a dark period of my time. Me and Anu weren't together for a little bit. You say ooh, and I lived by myself, and I was getting deeper into like spiritual awareness, and like one of my past lives, I found out I was a medium. I wasn't able to contact like spirits in one of my past lives. So like,
you was a medium in a past life.
In one of my past lives, so we could talk about that.
Okay, let's not forget. I want to talk about that.
We'll talk about my past life regressions. I don't know. Some of them were like insane, but so since I unlocked that part of my brain that I realized I could do that, because we literally all could do it if we just take the time to do it. Our bodies and ourselves as people are so smart. But when I found that out, I feel like I was feeling energy around me more. I want to say they're spirits. Can't say they're ghosts, but like I would feel like strong energy around me. And my building that I live in is really old. It's like 120 years old. And like I would feel this energy and I'd be nervous. But I was strong. Like I didn't believe that reality can affect me. But I would be nervous. So like how can I word this? Like I believe that you can like manifest anything. I was getting into manifestation at the time. So I'm like, I want to manifest a familiar. I was really studying familiars and like what they are in our lives.
What is a familiar?
A familiar is like a pet or an object or energy that is a part of you. I don't want to say spiritual guide, but like an energy that is like a part of you.
It's like you in a different form?
You have to do your own research on it too. I don't want to be the precipice for like what it is.
I'll look it up.
But it's like energy that's a part of you to help you ascend in this world. Like help you along your journey in this plane. I guess I can explain it like that.
It's kind of like a guide?
A guide or like a familiar energy to you that to help you in this world. Like I want to explain it like that. But I would like ask spirit. Boom. What is it?
So we looked up through Siri. Familiar.
I was specifically asking for a familiar. I was like, I want a familiar.
In European folklore of the medieval and early modern periods, familiars were believed to be supernatural entities or spiritual guardians that would protect and or assist witches and cunning folk in their practice of magic.
Yeah. So yeah. Definitely.
So like an assistant manifester in a sense.
Yeah, I definitely identify as a witch. So yeah, I was asking for a familiar. And
how would you define a witch? Like,
someone that can manipulate energy and understands that we're greater than ourselves. We're connected to. There's so many different branches of it, but it's just someone that knows how to manipulate energy. I would just describe it like that.
Okay. Can just girls be witches or can guys be witches?
Yeah, of course. I don't think it doesn't go by gender.
So anyone could be a witch.
Yeah.
What would you say? So would the masculine form of a witch be a wizard? I like to say wizard.
I have to ask someone's opinion that might know about that. Could put it in the chat.
I think it's wizard. What'd you say?
Warlock.
Whoa, warlock.
What do you guys think?
Sounds powerful.
Yeah, warlock sounds very powerful. But let me finish my story.
Okay.
All right. So I was like asking spirit, or so I like to say God. For God, I like to say source. I was asking source. I was like, I need something. Like I'm having these energies around me. It makes me nervous. I need something to like be here with me. I need a familiar. So like I got signs how to get a familiar. So like I realized that I either wanted a bunny with like a white puff on its chest and white paws, or I wanted a cat. Like I knew either or of those energies. So I specifically asked for a cat with white paws, a puff on its chest, and long fur.
Would you ask? You asked the person? That's
exactly what I asked for. I asked for the personality.
You asked the universe?
Yeah. I asked for the personality for it to be withdrawn, but within time open up and be more warm to me. And friendly, but a little bit to itself. Like I specifically asked for that personality because I just wanted to grow with the animal and like have it love me over time and like get the sensation of that. So I got like signs. I feel like the best way to manifest something in your reality is to get physical things of it to help it manifest. Example is like when I decided I was going to get a cat, I got cat litter, I got cat food before I even knew what the cat was or if it was going to come. I just got those things ready and placed it and visualized the animal walking in my house. Because I felt like in my generational curses, a generational curse is like something that happens within your family line that everyone in your family has to go through, and someone either breaks the curse or I feel like our generation, are we millennials?
Yeah.
I feel like millennials are here to like break those curses. Millennials and like the one above us, maybe. But so one of my generational curses was like I didn't have animals growing up. I don't know why. Like I didn't really have animals like that. My mom, like if I had a dog, my mom would eventually just give the dog to somebody else, and like it was just so hard. Yeah, I had generational curses with the animals, so it was really hard for me to manifest this cat for real. I like really tried. I had to break the curse, like for real. So I was getting one bad one day. I was like under the covers. I was really scared, and then the like source was like, "It's coming. Like don't worry." And like the next day I was searching online because it was like, it wasn't during COVID, but it was during the time that like it was hard to get an animal. You had to like make an appointment, go see the animal in like someone's house. And like, it wasn't like you could just go to like a shelter and see the animal. It was like so weird now. But I went to this place, I met this lady, and like I saw Gypsy and I was like, this is her. Like Anu came with me and she was like on top of like this shelf, like scared because she didn't like the other cats. This is sign one that she probably doesn't like other cats. And then Anu like was like, come here. And then like Anu grabbed her and she was just like so happy and she was just so cute. And I just loved her. I wanted an older cat and I got her and she has everything down from the puff on her chest to the personality where like some days you could pick her up, some days she's like, leave me alone. So it's just really cool to like, that's a manifestation that I'm really proud of. Like she's definitely my familiar. We have very similar energy and like she's definitely, I have another cat now and that cat's more like going to be a person like in the next life. It's very person like
ready.
It's very ready to be human. And like Gypsy is just a witch. Like her energy is very like not of this world and like so different from his energy. So it's like so interesting. Like she's very like she's a witch as fuck. All right, that's my manifestation story. I went on a huge tangent about that. I feel like I've never really talked this long.
It's so funny because it's like you and Marilyn both were like, shout out Marilyn if you're watching. You and Marilyn both were like, oh, I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm
nervous.
finna talk about. And then y'all talk the most.
I know.
Yo, the videos of the web like, yo, I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Though.
I'm like, nervous.
I am.
What you mean you nervous? Now look at her. She fucking telling stories for days in this motherfucker.
I always surprise myself on how much knowledge I know. I feel like I don't really. I'm like, oh wow, I know this. Like, it's really cool.
Oh wow, no, you forget you know shit.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I know a pretty good amount of stuff about this. Like,
Would you like some wine?
Thank you, sir, kind sir.
Okay, let's see. I want to ask a question for you.
Another question for me?
I don't think I even asked you one. You asked me one, and then I asked it back to you. Okay. Oh man, let's see. I got a lot of good ones here. Ooh, okay. I think I'm gonna pick this one. I didn't read through them all yet. I want to pick this one because I feel like it'll help a lot of people.
Okay.
It will make great sub content and like people will really find a lot of use from it.
Okay.
In your own words, how would you say, what is the importance of compromise in a relationship?
Oh.
And how do you find compromise in a relationship?
Oh wow.
So first question is,
what is the first question?
How do you feel the importance of compromises in a relationship?
I think it's important. It's very important. Because I wish I could. I think compromise is
real
important.
raw, baby.
I think compromise is important.
No names, real
I think
raw.
no matter what relationship you're in, like you're gonna have to compromise something, like, and it can be respected and boundaries can be set and you both can be say in a respective way, and we're all adults here and we all have feelings, and like when you love someone you have to take their feelings into consideration, like if you like it or not. You can be single and never take no one's feelings into consideration, but eventually if you try to get in a relationship you're gonna have to deal with compromising with someone, and it's okay. Like if you sit down and talk to your partner, if the partner's open and you have the conversations like, hey, this made me feel this, or this is something I want to compromise, and you sit then listen without being judgmental and ego and like think, why does this person feel this way, and have the deep conversation and talk about it. I feel like it can be a way to compromise that both parties can be happy at the end.
So like communicating?
No, communicating. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Do you feel like compromise is important in a relationship?
Oh man. Yeah, I feel fuck yeah. What? I feel like compromise is a building block of a relationship. Like it's an essential ingredient. I feel like we live in an era nowadays where like everyone wants to just do their own thing and like not listen to anyone else's opinions or like guidance, and it's just like
I feel like everyone needs to understand like how it affects everyone, and I feel like even in relationship you have to understand how much you're willing to compromise too. And like some people want to compromise things aren't
yeah,
acceptable.
but you're not gonna know how much you're willing to compromise if you don't know how to compromise, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like learning like the balance and finding the balance between it like just comes through doing it. Like you're not just gonna know off rip. Like
I feel like you just need to know yourself and your morals, and like always check in with yourself. Like, all right, if you're compromising something, like, is it worth me compromising? Is it like you have to think about it? Like if it's like a shirt.
like, give an example.
Okay. Here's a perfect example. This is a personal example. Is it okay if I talk about it?
Say I made no outrageous claims like the other night. The other night you asked me, yo, is it okay to talk about it? And you said some crazy shit. I was like, whoa. I ain't say all that.
Okay, a compromise.
Think about what you're about to say.
Like to
go for it.
I haven't done it in a long time and I really miss it a lot. But I haven't did like shibari in a while. So when I did shibari, sometimes I like to be topless when I do it. And like my partner sometimes is not okay with me being topless in front of strangers. So like a compromise would be like, you can still be topless, but maybe you can put nipple pasties on your nipples so people are not looking at them. So that was like something I was like, okay, like I can still be freely and do shibari with someone, but like my partner just doesn't want me to show my nipples. That's okay compromise for me. That's an example. I feel like that's a deep example. I feel like I just like...
Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
That was like, damn, what the fuck she talking about? Type an example, but that's the type of... I feel like that's like a crazy... Yeah, that's like a freaky ass example.
That was the freakiest example I ever heard.
But that's like an example of a compromise that me and Anu have talked about.
Oh, okay.
Can you speak of a compromise? I don't know if I want to hear it. Honestly, never mind.
Oh my God. So you can throw me under the bus, but I can't throw you under the bus.
Like, sometimes you can ask the question, but like if someone asks you the question, you don't want to know the answer to it. So
that's
like,
crazy.
You don't have to.
That's crazy.
You don't always have to know the answer.
So don't answer it?
You can answer it. Go ahead.
Okay. A compromise? I mean, I was mainly thinking like, before I answer that question, I was thinking more like in general. I wasn't even thinking like specifically us. Mm-hmm. But I think it was cool that, that's what you wanted to say. Mm-hmm. A compromise?
I feel like the best way I can explain compromise is through like my own experience.
Okay. I don't know. My mind's kind of blank.
All right, good. Maybe you weren't supposed to answer it. I want to ask you this question. I feel like can I speak about one of your generational curses?
I'm scared when you ask me this now.
I'm sorry. Can I speak about one of your generational curses in your family?
All right, we're keeping it real raw. Well, yeah, go for it.
Okay, is that okay? If it doesn't make you,
I don't know what you're gonna say, so it's alright. Just go for it.
Ask for consent.
No, we real raw. It's alright. We real raw. Pass me the drink, please. I need a little drink in my system.
All right. Yeah. One of your, it's not even that serious. I'm gonna ask.
Sure, we're gonna find out.
One of your generation curses in your family is like, you went to one of your first time getting your cards read in Connecticut, and like the guy that read your cards was like, anger is a big part of your family. That's not even about you. It's like deeper than you, and it runs in your family. So knowing that you have anger in your family, how do you say? Hold on, I wrote this down so perfectly. How do you handle anger in your life now?
How do I handle anger after that situation? After that tarot card reading, or just in general?
Yeah,
like how do I handle it now?
You got older, you realize it's a generational curse now.
I feel like I'm a lot more slow to anger. And I feel like I'm also older, and my frontal lobe is more developed.
How do you what is your coping mechanisms for if you get angry? I haven't seen you angry in so long.
How do I cope?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I cope with being angry?
Yeah, with anger. Like as a man, a black man too. Like how do you deal with anger?
Man, this question's getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, like if you think it generationally
shit. I mean, I feel like any race gets angry though. Yeah,
but if you think back to like, you're Haitian. If you think back to like, you're one of the first people of a race or like a ethnicity, if that's even the right word, to free themselves from slavery. So like it can be like deep down generational. That's what a type of generational curse is. Like something that's not currently evolving you in your life. It's something passed down from your ancestors. So knowing that, like, how do you handle anger? Like, how do you cope with it?
I mean, I just take things one instance at a time. And I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like I can't answer these questions for some reason. I don't know. I just try to just not take things so seriously. At the end of the day, I feel like that's really it. Like, just try not to take shit too seriously. Try to think things through before you react or, like, say. things, because usually like the first thing that comes on your mind is like just like straight reactive, and it's just usually like not like the first thing you should do or like say. So just like learning to just take the time and like really think, learning to analyze my own thinking has helped a lot.
I love that. Wow.
Learning to analyze like, okay, I'm mad. Why am I mad? All right, what about this made me mad? And just like trying to figure out what it boils down to. Because like when you get super duper angry, all it is just your body having a reaction because there's a frequency that hit you that didn't resonate with you at all. Like something in a particular moment struck a chord of like maybe a trauma or whatever it is that's deeply ingrained within you. So just like really analyzing each potential moment and just understanding like, okay, like why am I mad? Is this, how should I react to this? What's the smartest way to react to this? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, just like learning to just, whenever I feel something, try to just talk about it and like bring it to light.
I think that is so
Instead
attractive and it's sexy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just think that's a man that can handle anger and a man that can like think before he speaks and is aware of himself and his actions is so attractive. Like, wow.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
You're not so bad yourself over there with your little dress, your little robe.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. That's being self-aware. That's being
but just learning to analyze your thing. I feel like that's like, because like when you learn to analyze you have to learn to take accountability.
I feel like
for your own emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can hit it a couple times. I hit that shit a lot. Learning to take accountability for your own emotions. I feel like it's super duper important. I feel like we live in an era where people just are so scared to be accountable. And people just love to just like have scapegoats and point the finger, when in actuality they just need to look at themselves and within themselves. You feel me? I feel like along my journey, I've always had a weird way of bringing out people's traumas, which at times can get super duper annoying, but I feel like my work here in this reality is just so important that it's just like one of my gifts in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like a superpower. Like if I bring a trauma out of you and you're hopefully wise enough to like look within and try to understand what it is,
I feel like when it comes to
it helps you grow.
Trauma,
looking at your trauma and like studying and analyzing your traumas help you grow.
Yes, but like childhood trauma is deep. It's root trauma, and it's hard to get through childhood trauma, but relationship trauma I would say is harder to get through. Like relationship trauma is hard. Like it's that person's a reflection of you. Their reaction's also a reflection of how you would react. Like relationship trauma is hard. A lot of people can't deal with themselves. A lot of people don't want to have to deal with that situation or that uncomfortable conversation or how those people react, how you react to this, and like I don't know. It's just like funny. That's the best I can explain it. Like healing some childhood trauma and you're never fully healed, but being able to cope more with like childhood trauma and like relationship trauma. Relationship trauma is like the hardest.
What would you describe, like what is an example of relationship trauma? It doesn't have to be us. In general, or unless you want it to be us, but just want to let you know that you have the option to talk about other shit that's not directly, just so you know. But if you want to say something regarding us, you most definitely can.
Yeah, if you're uncomfortable.
If you want to talk about something about us, you most definitely can. I just want to let you know I'm not asking specifically about us. That's what I really mean.
All right, yeah.
But if you want to answer with something that, feel free.
Ask me the question again. What is it?
Damn.
I forgot it.
I forgot it too. I forgot the question. I forgot the question. It's all right, because we got some questions from the people watching the stream. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate you.
God, shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris.
Yeah.
What's an example of a relationship trauma?
Oh my God, there's so many, like, it's like thinking of a general text is like, your partner does something that you don't like and you don't want to have to deal with it, so you can like just walk away from it or not talk about it. Oh, God, I can't think of a certain situation now.
Why?
I don't know, it's just hard to like think of something without it being too general and making sense. All right, your partner goes out and they're out for a while with their friends or whatever, and like you haven't heard from them in a good amount of time, and like you think to yourself in your head like, oh wow, like they hadn't answered, like what's going on, what's like, that's a trauma you deal with because you don't trust your partner and what they're doing. So that could be a type of trauma that you have to realize that like your partner's okay, like they always contact you, like reassuring yourself, I feel like is a way to get through that trauma. But that's a type of trauma that some people have to deal with if they're like have attachment anxiety, which is like they're attached and like think of worse outcomes when they're not with someone, or like they think too much about a situation and it like causes them to have anxiety and they become attached to something because of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Let's see, what would I say is an example of relationship trauma? Partner being too emotionally dependent, refuse therapy, etc.
Oh, refusing therapy can be a type of trauma.
Yeah, because it's like, let's see, what would I say is a type of relationship trauma? Okay, maybe you could be someone who's had bad experiences in past relationships, and sometimes you take whatever you went through in that past relationship and kind of actualize it again in your future relationship. Maybe you deal with abandonment issues. Maybe you may not have a good relationship with the opposite sex. There's so many different types of traumas that people can bring into relationships, and I feel like it's super important to understand that being in a relationship, you're gonna face yourself a lot.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship.
People can't like face themselves, and it's like hard for them.
A relationship really shows you a lot about yourself.
And it's beautiful.
And it's like, amazing because it provides a situation for so much.
It's worth it.
It provides
if it's the right person, it's
it
worth
provides
it. For real. Sorry. I cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You excited? You said you was nervous too.
Latinas
I knew you wasn't nervous.
I'm excited. We Latinos, we cut people off and we say how we feel in the moment, and we
you
just
pass me the one, but
are spicy with it sometimes.
I feel like it provides opportunity to really learn a lot about yourself, and I feel like we live in a society where like people are taught and tell each other to like leave certain relationships or situations when things get tough. But I feel like if you always leave or exit a situation that is challenging, you're never gonna grow.
Yeah, if they're not there's so many types of ways, because that's true.
As long as they're not giving you black eyes and shit.
But like, there's
because that's a real shit.
Things like they could be neglect. Like, what if the person neglects you? They don't listen to you, everything you say, or like they hit you, or you know what I mean? Like, you can stick. I believe.
Well, what do you mean neglect?
People like neglect you as a relationship. They're so busy with their other things in their life, and they're not taking care of the relationship. Like,
so you think that's a reason to leave?
I don't think it's like and they're hitting you, yeah. But like, if you tell them like, hey, like, you're not giving me attention, blah, blah, and they still don't listen, they still don't respect what you're saying, and then like now you don't hear from them anymore, shit like that. Like, yeah, that'd be they don't want to change.
I mean, that sounds like they broke up with you.
Yeah, but they're not saying it. Whatever,
Okay, but I mean, but I feel like that's not a situation that happens to a lot of people. Like, that's a reason you're giving, like, cool, but I feel like what's happening is just like people just hit little rough patches and just he not making enough money. He ain't tall enough. He's too nice.
You think that's
he's a good guy.
What people like be doing, yeah.
Hell, fucking yeah.
Damn.
And sometimes people leave amazing situations and then they find a fuck nigga or a fuck chick, and then like they don't realize. They realize.
Or sometimes they leave because of these like.
I feel like us as a society, we need to like. If you got a homegirl who's in a relationship and like, or a homeboy who's in a relationship and they're just talking about, yo, it's just a little tough right now, like, don't just tell them to leave. Like, I feel like people should tell them like, bro, like, try something new, like, try to make it work.
I feel like that's very true.
Society just wants to just like, shit gets rough, peace.
I feel like that's very true.
And I feel like our parents back in the day, like the generation before us, No, before us, like they stuck it out. The old school heads, they stuck that shit out.
I believe what you're saying, because that's very true in a lot of circumstances. But when it comes to circumstances where like people aren't growing the same, and like they don't want to change, and they're stubborn, and they don't listen to you, or like they're abusive towards you, they steal your money, they'll steal shit from your house, like, you know what I mean?
That just sounds like you dating a crackhead.
That's shit that happens to people. And
yeah.
some people stay in those relationships and they don't know how to leave.
And true. And
but
those are reasonable things. But I feel like that's the minority though.
Yes. But if I feel like if the relationship is very solid and like you can make it work, but you don't know how to communicate it right, then like, yeah, still make it work, still try to like make things happen and work through it. But like if it's something that's affecting your health, you as a person and your being, and like you always talk about this with me when it's really funny when it says so like how women think differently than men when it comes to relationship things like that. Like some women, like if the guy doesn't make enough money, she's dipping on him. But like guys, if the girl's ugly, like he'll dip on her. Like women, like society where like women are values based on our beauty, when men, their values based on like their status and how much money they have. So like when it comes to leaving a relationship, that could be like reasons, I guess.
Because like the man's not providing enough value.
Yeah.
What if you put it that way?
Yeah.
Because it is important. I feel like a man should be able to provide and protect, and like I feel like that is like what a man's nature is, to be the leader, to be the one with wisdom, to be the one that's always calm, cool, collected no matter what. Like I feel like those are definitely certain traits that like really embodies the masculine. You feel me? And I feel like women should require these things out of men because it gives men a reason to like be sharp, you know? Because I feel like if women didn't want these things out of men, like a lot of men would have no reason to even want to go to the gym or like want to go like be successful or make money. I feel like society needs to understand that men and women are not the same. We never will be the same, and we should never try to be the same. Men and women are complementary opposites. Yeah. And we both provide different things that complement and enhance each other. If you provided the same exact type of value that I provided, it wouldn't work.
I feel like I believe that. It's just so like different nowadays of how society is. Like back then women didn't work, so we survived on like what our partner gave to us or whatever. So now women are working because this economy is so fucking expensive that women have to work, and like women like me choose to work because they like to make a living for themselves. But like now that women also have to work in a field, and like it feels good to have an equal household where the husband cooks and he cleans and does the dishes and he mops the floor, because like we're equal in the household, you know, now. Because like back then it would be like the men would just bring the money, bring the food, the woman would just stay home, cook and clean. But like that's not now. So it feels good to have that role of the man going into the feminine role and cleaning the dishes and cooking the food when you're tired as fuck from work and like I'm so happy you came home to a meal, you know. So like I think that there's a beauty in like the equality of the or switching those roles of what a man's supposed to do and a woman's supposed to do in a household. There's a beauty to that.
Yeah. But I feel like a man is also to like, I feel like there has to be a switching of the roles, because I feel like the modern day woman is having to put a lot more effort in than what she had to put a couple 100 years ago. Yeah. So like there needs to be some type of like switch and balance.
Yeah, to help out.
Type shit.
Because there's a lot of, I don't know if majority of people are like this, but the woman still goes home, cooks and cleans, and the man just goes home and doesn't cook, doesn't do nothing, just waits for the meal. Like we're doing the same amount of work here, bro. Like you're gonna help me with this too. Like people need to have that conversations with their partner, you know. Like I feel like that's important to like have. And like if no one listens to you, you're like fuck, like you feel like miserable and you're having a hard time in your life. But if you have a partner that listens to you and like helps you out in those ways because you're struggling, that's very beautiful, you know.
What kind of partner do you have?
I have a beautiful partner that helps me.
Oh yeah? That nigga help? That nigga cook and clean?
You too, Poppy. I appreciate it.
Oh, in front of the whole world. I
think that's important in a like to keep a relationship happy and stable, you know.
Ooh, what are some other ways to keep a relationship happy and stable?
I think I gave a good amount. What do you think, somewhat?
Oh wow, you want me to talk a little bit?
You're so mean.
It's your show. It's your show. It's the Divinity show
That is
today.
so mean. That's so Capricorn.
Oh shit, I can talk, y'all. Hey, what's good? I ain't said nothing in a little while. Clear my throat. Some cobwebs in there.
You're being mean. His Venus is in Sagittarius, so like he jokes with me showing love, and like my Venus is in Virgo, or like, and I'm a like water sign, so I'm like, that hurt my feelings. But it's okay. Go ahead.
What was the question?
How do you feel like?
It's hard to remember these questions. You smoking and drinking.
I know.
My bad, y'all.
How do you feel like? What do you feel like keeps a relationship happy and stable?
Ooh,
That was the question.
to all the fellas out there, make sure your dick game on point. Hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you working out, man. Work on that endurance. Super important, man. Especially if you're gonna be with a Spanish girl, man. Woo! They cost a lot. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you gotta be on point if you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I feel like I seen a Brother Polite went live one time, and someone on live was like, they said something along the lines of like, how can I become more of a man?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brother Polite was like, surround yourself with more women. And like, at first I was like, wow, that makes sense. And then he explained, and he was just saying like, women kind of bring a certain type of energy out of a man. I feel like the more like solid woman you have around you, because women like, they have this beautiful way that they just bring out of like, they bring the best out of a man. Especially if you like with a real solid chick, like she gonna bring the best out of you. She gonna make sure you on point. She gonna make sure you on your P's and Q's. I feel like I'm kind of drifting from the question a little bit.
So you just have to make sure like you as a partner are like.
Yeah. Make sure you're on. Make sure you fellas. Make sure you're on point, and ladies too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're just on fucking point. Make sure you're educating yourself as much as possible. Mainly to the men out here. Make sure you're like super. Women, educate yourselves too. But let me just talk to them. Let me just talk to the men real quick.
Ladies, protect your energy.
Protect your energy. But let me just talk to the fellas real quick, because I'm saying more masculine specific things.
Okay.
You know, make sure you're on point. Make sure you're educating yourself as much as possible. Understand the type of value you're supposed to be providing, and take your time to make sure you're able to provide that value, and understand that, you know, your significant other deserves you as your best version. You know, you owe it to them, you owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself humanly possible. And I especially feel like the type of man that I am, the type of relationship that I have, and the type of lifestyle I'm trying to live, you know, it's very important for me to make sure like I'm working out as often as I can. I'm educating myself as often as I can. Learning to put myself in position to help other people grow, and just trying to just be the best like man that I can be. So I feel like the best way to keep a relationship happy is learning to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I feel like that goes for both sexes, not just men. Because you were just speaking.
Oh yeah, I was just talking to the boys though.
That like, women.
Some of that for sure could apply to women, but I wanted to get specific.
I think realizing that you're like, a lot of people when they first get into a relationship too. Me and Anu have been in a relationship for 12 years, so we have a lot of.
Damn, you just said it that easy like that.
We've been in a relationship for a long time, so we have a lot of experience within. But I think us staying true to ourselves and us being individuals as well has helped a lot in our ascension and growth within ourselves, thus enhancing the relationship.
Ooh. Yeah, I feel like in a relationship,
self-love.
and something that I feel like I've learned as of recently is to learn to find how you work and blend into a relationship, but also work on yourself as a person. Like being in a relationship for this long, so young, like I feel like we met at a point where like kids grow the most, or like the most. I mean, we're always growing, but like I feel like during our age when we first met, it's like so many new things are happening all at once.
We became so many different people together.
Yeah.
Like that's like so many different lifetimes being together still. I feel like since our Venus signs are very mutable signs, we're able to.
What's
like,
mutable sign mean?
Mutable signs are able to adapt. So like they're signs that can adapt to things
Cool.
easier. I think since our love signs are both adaptable signs, we're able to like adapt with love too in our life. Sorry, I don't know if I cut you off.
It's all good. We all used to you out here.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, sure.
That was one of my questions. What is the key to a healthy relationship?
Well,
You answered that already. Ooh, okay. This is one that I'm currently struggling in as myself, and I would just like to ask advice from you. I feel like
you want to ask me for this piece of
it's like
advice?
a personal advice. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been experiencing a lot of burnout in my life.
Ooh.
Yes, I work really hard. I have multiple jobs. I'm still maintaining like my own life, a relationship with my partner, friendships, talking to my mom, my sister. I have to make sure I have all these relationships and like handle 3 jobs and like just dealing with a lot and going back to school. And like I feel like I've experienced burnout and I like worked past it, and it's just been hard for me a little bit with it. I'm still managing and I'm being fine, but I'm finding myself more fatigued like sometimes from like everything I do. So like how do you deal with burnout?
I feel like I've learned to have such a steady workflow where I can kind of like be productive almost all the time.
Yeah, you're
like
very
daily.
productive like all the time.
But it requires me to take a lot of breaks.
Okay,
And
that's beautiful.
just like even if it's a mini break, like when this past week I've been out the crib, like doing a lot of work at the crib, like on some marketing shit and like you know, a lot of work for Brother Polite and things like that.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'll do work for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is. I'll take like an hour break, 2 hours break or whatever. Play some GTA.
So you give yourself multiple breaks. Or like
Then I go back in 3-4 more
I
hours.
don't give myself breaks.
Take an hour break, shoot some niggas in GTA. Hung, 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 hung. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that break is for you, maybe you is something else. Maybe you want to go to the park.
How do you motivate yourself to get back to work after you take a break?
It requires a lot of discipline, but that's where the discipline really comes into play.
Okay.
It takes discipline to get yourself to take a break, but it takes discipline to get yourself back to it. Because sometimes you get lost in that break.
Because like you take multiple breaks, so how do you bring yourself back to reality of going back to work?
Sometimes just like alarms, you got to set like alarms. You got to tell yourself, all right, I'm going to take 1 hour break. This time I'm going back to work. I'm setting an alarm. As soon as that alarm go off, go back to fucking work.
And you start going back to work.
Yeah, treat it like a job.
Wow.
You got to treat it like a fucking job. I'm saying, especially if you want like whatever your hustle is to be your job.
I feel like I don't give myself as much breaks. Like I take.
Yeah, I feel like you're the type of person you'll take a whole day.
Yeah. So I work really hard for like 4 or 5 days in a row, like nonstop.
That's
and then,
crazy.
I'll take like 2 days off. I have a lot of stamina and I have a lot of energy. Like Taurus moon.
I mean, does it work for you? Because you're saying you're getting fatigued, so maybe
I'm experiencing burnout. I'm working too many days without a break. Like I think my days are 3 days max of hard
3
work.
days max straight.
Yeah. And like that's a routine. Like I'll work those 3 days in a row and it'll be disciplined. Like I'll go to yoga, I'll make sure I go home, make myself a meal, then I'll go straight to my like 9 to 5 work, or like it's not really 9 to 5 because I pick my own hours, but like if I pick those hours I have to be at that location. So like that 8-hour block of my life where I'm working, I'll work that, then I'll like go home. I'll like try to like work on my business a little bit and then I'll just go to bed. And then I'll just like repeat that for like 3 days in a row. But then like I don't really get a time where I'm just like relaxing. I think I take yoga as my type of relaxing, but it's not because I'm,
like what do you define as relaxing? Because relaxing is different to a whole bunch of people. Like I feel like right now I'm relaxing, but I'm working. So what is relaxing to you?
Allow relaxing to also be like a type of work too. You trick yourself in a way?
No, I just do what I love. You do what you love. You don't really feel like you're working.
But you still have to work a little bit even with what you love.
Oh, for sure. Like when I was with Brother Polite, I worked a 9 to 9 working with Brother Polite. And like, man, like that guy's work ethic is like on a whole other level. I was a little drained after the 9 to 9, but if I did a 9 to 9 doing some shit I didn't like, I probably would have been dead. I would have like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It would have seemed way more. But like when you do things that you love, you can go a little bit farther. You can handle a little bit more. Yeah. You know, when you do things that you love. But you know, it's just important to get those breaks in there. Yeah. Breaks are important because you want to make sure you're doing efficient work. You don't want to just shoot your body out and then like you're dead, and then now the quality of your work is like deteriorating. You want to make sure you're able to work at a certain quality and effectiveness. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you have like good quality work. And if you're fatigued, the quality of your work goes down because you're fatigued. You're gonna start lagging and fucking up.
That's why they say like when you do your dishes, do them at the end of the day because you have like the less energy, and like it's not something you have to do right now to like put your energy where it matters.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
is it like a saying or something?
And they were talking about like if you have the most creative energy, you make sure you use the energy to create, and not just like do your dishes or something. Like save that when you have low energy, so you just get that done. You know. So like when you have the maximum amount of energy, you use that energy to do something creative.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I think I need to make sure I'm taking more breaks in between.
So how are you gonna go about doing that?
I'm gonna set alarms.
Ooh, okay.
That's advice you gave. I really like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that method. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what, because we got so much shit we both be doing.
I know.
Like niggas just gotta set alarms.
I've been watching Bridgerton, the one with the Queen, and I have to really pace myself with it. My sister actually taught me this. I don't know if she'll watch this, but she watched like this show on Netflix. Is when I watch Netflix shows, I binge watch the fuck out of it. I won't get nothing done. So I have to like make sure I manage my time with it. So my sister said like when she watches Netflix, she'll just watch one episode a day. And like every day she'll watch that one episode for like that period of time. So she's not like too much doing it. And I'm like, I like that. So I've been trying to do the Bridgerton, and it's been like hard, but it's been good. Not watching the whole binge show like in like 2 days.
Just consuming it in bits and pieces.
I feel like it's better.
I remember back in the day when I told you I showed you what anime was.
Yes, you got me.
You used to
anime.
binge that shit.
I like.
You be at the crib in your bed for days.
I'd be in a cave and I'd watch endless anime, and it was just a great time.
Endless anime.
Yeah, I was a nerd in high school. I love that. I love that for me.
We still be watching anime sometimes though.
Yeah,
Not
we
as
just
often.
finished Attack on Titan. It was really good.
Yeah, Attack on Titan was lit.
Yeah, we watch great shows.
We be watching some good shit.
Attack on Titan's lit, guys. Like when you get to
What's
season
your
4,
top 3 animes?
It was confusing though. Season 4.
Top 3 animes, go.
Hawaiian High School Host Club is one of them. High School Host Club is beautiful. Such a good anime.
Let's say that I want to ask you the question one more time so I can make this a real. Because I feel like this would do good. What's your top 3 animes? Go.
Okay. Orion High School Host Club is one of them. Really good anime about this girl. I kind of ruined it already. This person that doesn't have a gender goes to school and like goes to the really rich school because she's like she's really poor, but she goes to this rich school because she has a scholarship. So she goes in and she like breaks a vase, but they don't know what this person's gender identity is. So they're like, it was like a host club, which is like it was like a guy host club. So like the guys come to women and like tell them how pretty they are and like give them cupcakes. Like the girls are like, oh my God, these boys are so cute. And they didn't know this person's gender, so they assumed it was a male. So they come in and they start working at the host club and they get all the females, and they end up finding out throughout the story that the person ends up being a female, and it was like a really cute plot twist, and like the characters start to fall in love, and like it's just a really cute anime. So Orion High School Host Club is number 1. I really shot that down. I love that. Number 2 is, I always say I like this anime a lot, but I don't watch it. But I just like, I can't say it's my top 3. But I'm gonna mention it. High School of the Dead. And I liked High School of the Dead because it had zombies, and I was like a really big zombie fan for a while. And it had like anime girl with big titties, and it was very like, not hentai because they didn't show anything, but it was like super, I forgot the word that they call it in like Japanese, but it's like smut. It's smutty. So it was like a smutty anime, and like the girls are like had big breasts and they're like running around. So I really liked that one. But I have to say, Attack on Titan has to be up there right now for me because it was good.
Attack on Titan was crazy.
Yeah.
Was your top 3? Yeah. Is it 3rd?
No, Vampire Knights is up there. It's on Netflix, and it's like another sappy romance anime.
Well, is that your? Because I'm top 3.
Yeah, that's it.
You said 4.
Okay, but I said the one with the browns and titties wasn't on the main 3.
Okay, so just so we have the order, the
Okay.
first one was
Orion High School Host Club.
number 2.
Vampire Knights. And then number 3 can be Attack on Titan.
That's a good 3. That's calm. That's calm. My top 3 animes.
Or
Let's
Zarya
see.
the Vampire. That was a good one. I'm sorry.
Dragon Ball Z.
Basic.
Dragon Ball Z.
Masculine young boy.
Like
would watch.
every Dragon Ball Z's inspired damn near every anime out there.
Literally.
All the
it
best
was really
ones.
good too. You made me watch it with you and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we gotta get back into it.
Yeah,
Maybe we watch a little bit tonight. We'll watch a little bit tonight. Dragon Ball Z number 1. Number 2, Naruto Shippuden. Actually, Naruto Shippuden is my number 1.
I lost
Naruto
my interest
Shippuden
in
is
watching
my
Naruto
number 1.
because they just had too many filler episodes and it was too long and they never got to like the main parts and they had like the same fights for like 4 or 5 seasons and Naruto lost it for me.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Babe, the fight with Jiraiya and Pain.
They have
That was the best fight ever,
but
bro.
they drag on.
Let them drag. It's Naruto. It could drag, shorty.
Filler episodes.
It's Naruto. Naruto number 1. Dragon Ball Z number 2. My 3rd favorite anime. Someone said Death Note. Catherine said Death Note. Nah, Death Note was super fire.
It was good.
Death Note was fire. You didn't really like Death Note for some weird reason. I love Death Note.
Maybe it wasn't like. It was just too analytical, and I didn't have. I like romance, happy romance, so it just didn't have enough romance.
It was more like strategy,
and it wasn't like what's that one we watched together? It was a strategy one that we liked. The guy wore green.
What happened in it?
It was like a strategy one.
About what?
Gundam? No.
Oh.
It was really. I enjoyed watching that with you.
Code Geass.
Code Geass. That was a good.
Yeah,
anime.
Code Geass.
That
That was my top.
Code Geass was
third.
good. Yeah, it was like a strategy anime that I enjoyed watching.
Yeah, no, that shit was fire.
Because he was like, it was a nice.
Code Geass was crazy.
That was a good one.
No, that was a good anime.
Yeah. So number 1 is Dragon Ball Z.
Number 1, Naruto Shippuden. Number 2, Dragon Ball Z. Number 3, Code Geass.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a good batch right there. Mm-hmm. That's a humble batch. Mm-hmm. That's a humble batch. Mm-hmm. That's a good batch. All right, let's see. Mm-hmm. I have some more questions for you.
I have one more question for you and then I'm done.
Okay. She said I'm finito.
I don't have no more questions unless you want to play a game.
I got some questions.
All right, go ahead. Do you want me to go first on my last question?
I thought that's what you were saying. It's 11:11.
Oh, 11:11. Love that. Thanks for watching this at 11:11 with us.
So I got multiple questions. Mm-hmm. This one question, when I put this on
we have to talk about our passive aggressions. I'm sorry.
For sure.
We have to end it with that.
Yeah, we'll end it with that.
That'd be beautiful.
So when I put what's it called? On the IG story post where you like put questions and people could put questions in and stuff.
Oh yeah, I think I had some.
Yeah, I got one. The first one I got was, do we love Rachel?
Rachel asked that. Of course, Rachel. I care about you deeply.
We love you, Rachel. That's that one. All right, what one do you got? You said you got some IG ones?
Oh, okay. I do.
I asked a couple of these.
My sister asked, how did y'all make it this far? That was very general.
You know JB General.
Oh, here's another one. This is a little better.
Wait, should we? Okay.
Okay.
No, let's get it.
But how do you make it this far? What, in a relationship, in life?
T. Well, Jay, you're going to have to reword that, Jay. Come back again next episode. How'd y'all make it this far? Like, nigga, we drove. Nigga, what you talking about?
I drove here.
Hopped in the car and drove.
I have a question from Immortal. Shout out Immortal.
Shout out Immortal.
Would you ever color your brows to match your hair? Oh, like together? Okay, so like since my hair,
you kind of.
Yeah, I haven't matched more, but I wanted to shave my eyebrows, but I asked one of my friends, well, if you shave, I asked Jay, the other Jay, if I like, you think I should shave my eyebrows? Like, if you have to ask to shave your eyebrows, I don't think you should. Like, you have to be the type of person to like shave your eyebrows that doesn't really care. And I'm like, you're right, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, damn. That was a good piece of advice then.
It was, yeah.
I said, damn, I thought I was ready. I guess not.
I'm not ready yet. But I always like, I feel like I was able to do makeup well. Like, I really enjoyed doing that, I feel like I have a good steady hand. But when it came to hair, like I'm just like no idea what's going on. So I didn't really ever change it like as much. And I didn't really grow up with a mom that really changed her hairstyle or like changed that much things about her hair. So it wasn't really like a thing I think about. But this is the farthest I've probably gone with like being different and like having dyed blonde, like a little blonde piece, and then like dyed eyebrows. I'm proud of myself for that.
I'm proud of you too, man.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Thank you, Paul.
Especially like I'm on this side of your head, like I can see it directly, you know.
Fire.
I'm usually looking at you straight forward. I've seen the side of your head a lot tonight. It looked good.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
You got a nice head shape.
Thank you too.
My parents were here, they would talk about my head shape, how they love my shape of my head. My parents are like awkwardly like proud of the shape of my head. It's weird.
That.
Like,
I have a question actually I want to ask.
Okay.
BG Queen on IG.
BG
Which
Queen.
you met in New York. You're really lit. Thanks so much for asking this question. What is something you guys do to keep the relationship healthy? One thing.
Keep the relationship healthy. One thing, communicate.
Yeah?
That's the word. Communicate.
I have one last question.
You gotta communicate about everything. It's the more communication, the better. I've met people who made me feel weird for communicating. It made me feel like my communication was awkward, not awkward, annoying. And I've also had other people who I met who wish they had more communication from me, you know. But in terms of this relationship, like communication is everything. You know, you gotta communicate. You gotta understand the other person's perspective, and just make sure you guys are keeping each other happy. You know what I'm saying? But communication, that's everything. You know, a lot of people like to get like stuck up and be like, oh, he did this to me, so I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna act away. Or like guys who do that to girls are like, oh, she did this, she shouldn't have did this. Like I'm gonna just act weird towards her, and it's like, nah, like communicate, talk that shit out. We grown.
Yeah.
Talk it out.
Having a lot of humility.
Yeah, OD. Catherine Rand said, are those matching tattoos on your legs?
Nice. So I'm looking at myself through the camera, so I can't even like the part I move is opposite. The part. Yeah, it's like so weird. Would you say it's matching?
Yeah.
We have a couple matching tattoos, huh?
Yeah. Except the only difference is mine has the eye of horse. That should look good on camera. No cap.
I already have the eye of horse on my neck, on my other side of my neck. So I didn't want to get it, but I decided to get this first, and then Anu got it after me.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Yes, it is.
I knew I wanted this tattoo. We were both just gonna get the
onk.
Yeah, we were both gonna get the onk. Brain fart. We were both gonna get the onk, but then I was looking online for a good picture of one, and then I seen the onk with the eye of horse, and I was like, nah, I need that for sure. And I like it. I feel like my tattoo is like looks a little masculine, and yours is like nice and feminine.
That's right. I like the plainness of it.
It like fits you perfectly. I feel like they both fit us.
Yeah, I told myself by the time I die, I'll be majority filled with tattoos. As I get older, I'm like, maybe I don't want all tattoos everywhere because I feel like I have nice skin. But like, I don't know. I do want to be covered up a good amount. Like I think I do want to tackle my arms and my hands more.
This is a little loud.
You want one? But can you fit it on your wrist?
I could try.
But yeah, I definitely want to work on that next. But you can ask me the question.
One of mine?
No, I guess I'm just gonna answer the question.
Okay.
What do you think keeps key to the healthy relationship?
Oh yeah, what do you think keeps a healthy relationship?
Glocky 5,000. Have to make sure you give that good. Glock 5,000.
That's a real right there. That's a TikTok.
I'm surprised that you didn't say something a little silly. I feel like
I wanted to say something helpful. That's what it was. But I was thinking some freaky shit for sure.
Yeah. But I think communication is definitely key.
You can't take my idea. You gotta take
trust.
You want the
trusting that the person's making the right decision for themselves, and you're making the right decision for you, and just trusting who they are as a person, trusting yourself, and I think trust is very important.
That part. Trust is for surely a big component. Especially, I feel like that's one of those things where it's just like, you just need that. We ain't got down, I can fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Any more IG questions?
I think that was it for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
This is dope. This is our first Just You and Me podcast, and I think it's dope. I
Mm-hmm.
think us having the space to ourselves like allowed us to get in depth with like a lot of things.
Yeah, it was
about
really
us.
cool. People got to know us on such a deep level, and like, I don't want to categorize myself into horoscope, but I like to study astrology through people.
Mhm.
And I noticed, like, me being a Scorpio, like, we like to know about other people, but we don't like people who like to know about us. So it's like hard for, not that we don't like to, we just don't trust. We have a hard time trusting. If we trust you, we're going to tell you about us and you're going to get to know us more and like in a deeper way and blah, blah, blah. But like, people are really getting to know me in a deeper way. And like, it's cool to be open to that and not like see the shadow aspects of like not trusting, but like just being my full self and not expecting, but for being my full self and accepting that and just showing it instead of like being in my shadow self. I feel like shadow self was a big thing during this full moon in Scorpio too that we just had. It was a lot of energy and a lot of shadow came out and things that we had to deal with. And I feel like having that come out like for me again after like being majority light all the time and not like being able to handle shadow a lot. This time it was very intense because it was like an eclipse and it was like a moon. It was in my sign, so like I really dealt with a lot of shadow that I haven't dealt with in so long because I've done so much shadow work last year that like I've been in such light energy for a while. So like for it to come back, I handled it really well. Like I didn't really have any mental breakdowns. I just was like, damn, this kind of sucks. I have low energy. I don't want to get up. Like, not motivated, but like, it still was like so surprising for me. Like, oh damn. And then I realized I'm like burnt out, and I'm like, fuck, you know.
Gotta find that balance.
No, for real.
That's all you can do. Try to find that balance.
Question.
I wanted to ask you this question here.
Okay.
Let's see. We could start it with the latter so that we can end on a good note. So what is your least favorite song of mine?
Your least favorite song that I don't like of you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One that's out on platforms? Yeah. Why do you want to know this? You're so funny. I have to think because I like a majority of your songs, but there's songs I don't like listen to. Oh, like, I have to like go through your Spotify.
Okay. Then what would you say is your favorite song of mine?
You know my favorite song of yours.
What is it?
Feels Like Love.
Oh.
It's my favorite song.
This Feels Like Love. It's not out yet.
That's
dropping soon.
My favorite song.
I Love You Too. Dropping soon. Make sure you check out I Love You. This is the cover art for I Love You. Make sure you check it out on SoundCloud and on YouTube. Okay.
You're my least favorite song you have. Okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna
it's
surprise
good that you don't know it.
No, I know. I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well.
I'm sorry. You're just like, oh, she don't have one. Oh. And I'm like, oh, I found it.
This song sucks. I found this shit.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't really like Bob Rograt that much. I don't really like the song. It's basic a little bit.
We're about to hit 20K streams.
I know it has a lot of streams and like people like it, but it's just not the type of music I like, and that's okay.
Man, shout out to my real Rugrats out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I made that song while I was on TikTok Live.
Mm-hmm.
I was on TikTok Live and I was making some music, and then I just made the song. Some of the people on the TikTok Live helped with the title of the song.
I'm looking at
and a couple words. And it was cool, but Bob Rugrat's cool. It's cool. It's ratchet, you know. This is a fun song. So that's your least favorite. So, okay, and then your favorite is one that's not released. What about one that is released? So people watching or listening can go stream.
My favorite song that you have released right now.
Yeah.
I have to go to, it's actually on SoundCloud.
Oh.
It's not on
It's not on other streaming services?
No, it's from I Love You.
Oh. I think I know which one. How's it go?
Maybe this one. No. This one. This is a good song. This is a bop.
What's the song called?
It's called Any Other Way.
By Honor the Deity.
I do.
On I Love You. Make sure you go watch I Love You once again on
I like that
SoundCloud
song.
and on
Slam
YouTube.
dunk and she rubbing on her thighs.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Like the
I got a lot more
like that
in
song.
store for you
It's
guys.
very creative of you.
All the people that support the music, I got a lot more in store for you guys. I don't even want to say too much, but I guess if you're tuning into the podcast, I'll let you know because I appreciate your support. I got a secret music video in the vault. A secret music video that I'm going to be dropping really, really soon. Off a certain little tape. And we're going to put it out. It's going to be dope. Shot by my homie Honeymoon. Edited.
Shout out Mooney.
Shout out Honey.
Honey.
Edited by me.
Honey.
So I'm very excited to put that out into the world. Very, very excited to put that out into the world.
I have one more question for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go.
Back to questions.
This will be the last question.
Is the last one?
Yeah.
What motivates you? What makes you get out of bed? A lot of people, sometimes, I've been doing a lot okay with it because my cats get me up and I love them, even though they drive me nuts. But, like, I feel like a lot of people have a hard time getting out of bed. They're like, fuck. Like, I hit my snooze alarm so many times. Like, what motivates you to get out of bed? Like, start your day.
Every day, I wake up to the sun hitting my skin.
Oh my God.
My eyes open. And I look down. And I see 10 of the nicest toes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yo, I gotta go do something with my life.
Oh my God.
I can't even be looking around, man. I'm sitting on the fire.
Oh
I'm sitting on this fire. Then I look at that ass. I be like, damn.
Oh my God.
I gotta go hit the gym.
Okay.
I can't be looking. I can't be out here looking crazy, man. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta do some sit-ups, man.
I blush.
That booty is the motivation. The buttocks.
Stupid. You got me blushing. I already have a lot of blushing.
You know, that's the biggest one. I feel like you're a big motivation for me.
That is so beautiful. Thank you.
No problem.
I would say the same.
Yeah, you're a big motivation for me.
Not just obsidian on your face every morning.
Obsidian too. He ain't giving you no choice.
Yeah, we have a male.
He's like, all right, wake up now.
Our male cat
wake your ass
is
up.
very like affectionate and like so opposite of Gypsy, and like he just every morning he like is on me and on Anu's like head and like purring mad loud, and I'm like, this is a beautiful gesture. Like we know you're happy that we're awake, because I saw somewhere on TikTok that cats get afraid that you're dead because you're not moving that much when you sleep, so like they get nervous and they come next to you and wake you up. Because, like, I've given my cats food after I woke them up, and they still, like, come and, like, try to wake me up after I fed them. So that's I'm like, I know they're not hungry. That doesn't motivate you to get up, Obsidian?
No, he forces me to get up.
Yeah.
It's different when you're forced to do something versus when you're motivated to do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And just, like, knowing that I want to live every life to the fullest. Like, I just want to live good. I want to live like an above average lifestyle, and I understand that's going to require an above average amount of work and discipline. So, you know, I try my best to put that workflow in and just like be the best version of myself. That's another big motivator for me. It's just like I want to really become the best version of myself. Cause it's like us as human beings, like we could push ourselves so much farther than like what we think we can. We can handle so much more than what we give ourselves credit for, you know? So that's a big motivator for me. And just like leaving a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. Billy
Carson talks about that. Like Billy Carson on Forbidden Knowledge. Like he's been talking about like how the Anunnaki have like built their legacy, and that's why we're how we are.
Yeah.
So this is their legacy.
Still talk about him to this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
So now like Billy Carson actually has his own legacy and like has access to like his great grandchildren, to like his money. He talks about like, I actually want to mention this dude. It's actually kind of cool. He talked about in his podcast. He was like, generations that want access to my money because he has money for generational wealth. He said he's like almost a billionaire, and he's like they have to go to financial literacy class like every quarter, like 4 times a year, and they have to get have financial literacy. And if they don't have access to the money. You have to have your own apartment.
His kids?
Whoever has, his family that he has, his structure, because when he dies, the money's still going to be there.
Like in a trust?
Yeah, he has a trust or whatever. And he says, like, to access to his trust, because he's going to be long gone, like, they have to pass these certain rules. Like, you have to take financial literacy. You have to, he's, like, strict with his. And I really like that. It made me think so deep about how I want to live my life and what I want my kids to have access to. And, like they have to be disciplined in the way they have to own their own home. They have to, like, have their own business for a year and have it be successful, he said. And, like, have their own, like, sources of income before they have access to his money, which is really cool.
No, that's dope, because, like, I guess in a way it's like it's him still making sure that he's at least, like, providing a certain level of discipline to be required
to have access to his
money. Have access to money, because it's like, bro, like, any old spoiled bro, just take that money and blow it on some bullshit. It's like, nah, you want access to this money, you can have it, but you gotta make sure you do your research and educate yourself first.
And that's really cool.
That's gangster.
That's inspiring as fuck.
See, that just goes. That just shows the type of mind that he has. He thinks, like, I feel like the greatest thinkers think, okay, so I feel like small minds think about, like, the present moment, day to day. They talk about other people's business. Then there's, like, brighter minds who, like, there's small minds who think of that, and then there's big minds who think about, like, the future and when they're even gone, and, like, how can they can leave an impact on the world. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of the greatest minds think of those types of ideas. Like, when I'm not even here, how can I still be here when I'm not even here? Like, I know me, for one, like, I for surely plan on going down, like, in my family line. Like, I want to be, like, that person in my family line who, like, my great grandkids are telling stories about, like, Anu, great grandfather Anu, and how motherfucker overcame so many obstacles and created so many avenues.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to become, like, a part of folklore.
Folklore.
Yeah, I want to become a part of folklore, and just, like, you know, still exist through, like, memories and stories and stuff.
I want the same thing, but I kind of want them to have access to, like, my energy when I'm not alive. Like, I would become a deity, and, like, they can access me through giving me, like, you have to, like, give me a feather, give me a candle, give me water, and, like, ask for my energy, and I will help you.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I want my like, line to do that. Money's cool too, but I want them to be able to, like, contact me, because, like, energy never dies, it just transmutes. And, like, in one of my past life regressions, wow, this is actually insane right now that this is coming, that I'm saying this out loud. This is actually freaking me out. But, like, one of my past life regressions said this is going to be, like, one of my last times on earth. And when as like, physical. So, like, when I found that out in this past life regression, I cried, because I was like, what do you mean I'm not going to get reincarnated again? Like, I don't understand. Like, it really freaked me out, and I had a little anxiety from it, because I was like, damn, like, this is my last life? Like, what? And, like, me saying this out loud is like, wow, like, I kind of want my family to have access to my energy still, like, when I'm not alive. And that's a way that I'll probably still be around, but not physically here. That's fire. That's cool. That's what's going to happen.
Hey, you say that, it is so.
Wow, that's fire.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to top off the podcast tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah. How you feel?
I'm feeling good. I like some little bit more wine.
Okay.
I love to end it. Can we end it with an Anu story from his past life regression?
Oh, man.
I'll drink from the bottle.
That wine's starting to kick in, huh? Just I don't need a glass, nigga. I drink it out of the bottle, nigga.
I drink out of the bottle. This is really good wine. It's Korean. It's Korean raspberry wine. This is not sponsored by them. This is actually just really good.
We need some wine sponsors.
Yeah, we need wine sponsors.
Because I feel like other podcasts, they be having, like...
We need Silk Robe sponsors.
Like vodka, like hard alcohol sponsors. But, like, I don't know, nobody got no wine sponsor. You know? But damn. I don't think I want to dig into my past life regression this episode.
Boundary respected.
We could say that for our next solo, like, just us.
Love that.
I don't have the energy to tell that story right now.
Okay.
It's a big story. It's like, it goes deep.
Okay.
You know?
Boundary respected.
For sure. And that gives everyone something to look forward to next time. But I do want to say I appreciate everyone who tuned in, as always, for this episode of Silk Talk Podcast. We always got people continuously watching from start to finish, so I love that. We had no guests this time, so that says a lot.
I appreciate that a lot. Wow.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. Make sure you check my website if you're looking to support me through some merch. Cop some merch at BKOSeason.com, the illest label in the motherfucking world. Make sure you check out I Love You. I'll show you out. Make sure you check out I Love You out now on SoundCloud and YouTube. I Love You, as you see it spelled right there. I Love You. Out now on SoundCloud and YouTube. Anu and Friends episode 4.5 is dropping super duper soon. I'm super excited to get back to vlogging. It's been a while.
I'm excited for you.
It's been a while, and I'm very excited. Episode 4.5, we're wrapping up our adventure for Jalen's graduation.
Yeah, I'm excited for your next
We're
vlog.
wrapping it up.
It's going to be fire.
And we're taking it to New York on episode 5.
Ooh,
Episode 5, we're
love
going
that.
to New York.
That's a good episode.
Yeah, so make sure you check this YouTube channel. Everything is on this YouTube channel that you guys are watching this on. So please like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe and please share. Those are 2 things that we really need everyone to be doing. If you truly support us, you enjoy these conversations, please subscribe and please share. It all goes a long way and really helps us grow so we can continue to have these amazing conversations. I Love You Too dropping soon.
And,
Do you have any closing lines?
Yeah, like Healing with Divinity is still on it's still out. HealingWithDivinity.com. I have pre-rolls, CMOS, herbal teas, transitioning a lot with my business and adding more products. I want to start adding, like, I'm not going to spoil it and say it out loud, but more like kind of beauty products. I want to enhance more. I eventually do want to make eyeliner and stuff like that too, like natural made. I'm in the process of making my teas drinkable, like already pre-made. So I'm in the process of making that.
Yummy.
I still got shroom tea if you want shroom tea too. I need to buy more shrooms though. So it's a little sold out right now.
May 12th.
Sold out.
May 12th. If you're in LA, gonna be in LA, I have a fat ass show with Something Dope. They gave me a call. Shout out Jordan. Jordan, the owner of Something Dope, gave me a call. He's like, yo, I got a show May 12th. It's a rock/alternative show. We'd love for you to perform a couple songs. I said, let's get it. So if you're in the LA area, May 12th, make sure you pop out. You can find it on my Instagram. The link to me and Divinity's Instagram should be in the caption of this video. So check that out.
It's like a healing too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath together. I feel like
before we get to that though,
okay, go ahead.
so make sure you check us out May 12th. Divinity's also gonna be vending as well.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So we both finna be in the building. Yeah, and let's get to the little sound healing.
I feel like we shared a lot of energy today, me and Anu. You got to know us deeper. You got to see vulnerable sides of us both.
Oh, damn.
Which is really cool. You got to see how we interact as a couple, how we interact individually, and
there's still so much more to see.
yeah, most definitely. We didn't even go.
We didn't even talk about no stories or nothing. Like that was like the introduction
to us, and it's cool to share yourself in a way. I think it's awesome. But let's close our eyes together. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Hold it at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale out the mouth. Beautiful. I just really needed that. And then we'll give a little love. We need to recharge a little bit. Thank you.
Silk Talk Podcast, episode 4. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.
Hey.
See you episode 5.
See you episode 5. Silk Talk Podcast, the best podcast in the motherfucking world. Shout out Silk Talk. Hey, shout out Mixed Recording Studios.